Hey everyone, so if you've got sensitive, acne-prone skin, the whole idea of a full-on bridal makeup look can be, well, a little terrifying. But today, we're going to break down an absolutely stunning tutorial from creator Parol Saxena that proves you can get a flawless look, no irritation necessary. Right, so let's just ask the big question. Can you really pull off that glamorous, heavy-duty bridal makeup without making your sensitive skin angry? The answer is a huge, emphatic yes. And this breakdown right here, this is your blueprint. We've broken this whole process down into 5 main stages. We're going to kick things off with the most important part, skin prep. Then we'll dive into a dramatic eye look with a cut crease. After that, it's all about creating that perfect, flawless base. We'll follow that up by sculpting the face to bring back all that beautiful dimension. And finally, we'll bring it all home with the final glamorous touches. All right, first up, skin preparation. And listen, this isn't just some boring first step. This is everything. It's the absolute foundation for a look that's going to last all day and, most importantly, feel really comfortable on your skin. So the whole thing starts with moisturizing. But the trick here is to use a super light hand, especially if you have any active acne, because you really don't want to cause any irritation. Next up, and this is a great tip, fill in your eyebrows. You want to frame the face before any foundation is on. And to wrap up the prep, a hydrating primer is a must. It just creates this beautiful, smooth canvas and makes sure the makeup doesn't dry your skin out later. Okay, with the skin prepped, let's talk about the eyes. To get that really glamorous, show-stopping bridal look, we are going to tackle one of the most popular techniques out there, the cut crease. So the process begins by laying down a perfect base on the eyelids with some concealer and then setting it with powder. After that, it's all about building that dimension. You start with a light transition shade blended into the crease, then you go in with a deeper brown to really define it, and finally, just a tiny touch of black shadow on the outer corner. That's what gives it that incredible depth. Now, for anyone who's hearing this term and thinking, what on earth is a cut crease? It's actually pretty simple. It's a technique that gives your eyes amazing definition. You use a really sharp, clean line of concealer to literally cut across the lid, creating this super dramatic separation between the darker crease color and the lighter lid color. So here's exactly how it's done. You take a little concealer on a flat brush and you carve out that really clean half crease shape. Then, right over that sticky base, you pat on a gold shimmer shadow. But to really take it to the next level, you add a glitter primer and then press loose gold glitter on top. Wow, that gives you maximum impact. And of course, you finish it all off with a classic sharp winged eyeliner to really seal the deal. Okay, now for the part I know so many of you have been waiting for, creating that flawless base. This section is all about the specific techniques you need to cover blemishes and dark spots perfectly, all while being super gentle on sensitive skin. Before we jump in, let's get clear on our 2 hero products for this job. Think of it like this. A color corrector's job is to cancel out any discoloration. So you use an orange tone to neutralize the brown from dark spots or under-eye circles. Then the concealer comes in. Its job is to match your actual skin tone and go right on top, making that correction totally invisible. And here is an absolute game-changing tip directly from Parol Saxena. She stresses that you have to set or lock in that color corrector with a bit of powder. If you skip this step, that orange can actually start to mix with your foundation and peek through, which kind of defeats the whole purpose, right? So the process itself is simple, but you gotta be precise. You dab that orange corrector only where you need it, then you lock it in with a little powder. Now when it's time for foundation, this is key. Gently press it into the skin. Do not rub. Rubbing is just going to irritate your skin and move all that careful work you did underneath. Blend it out with a damp sponge, and once you love how it looks, lock the whole thing in place with a setting spray. Okay, our flawless canvas is officially set. So now it's time for section 4, sculpting the face. This is where we bring back all that beautiful, natural dimension to the face after the foundation has evened everything out. And a really key technique used here is called baking. So what is that? Well, it's pretty cool. You apply a really thick layer of loose powder right on top of the areas you just highlighted with concealer, like under your eyes. Then you just let it sit for a few minutes. The heat from your own face actually helps to bake the makeup, setting it in place for this incredibly smooth, creaseless, and really long-lasting finish. So here's the order of operations. First, you apply and blend out your cream contour. Then you put your highlighting concealer on all the high points you want to bring forward. Right after that, you pack on that loose powder to bake those highlighted areas. And while that's all sitting there, you can use that time to set your contoured areas with a pressed powder. After a few minutes, you just gently dust off all the excess baking powder. Done. And to finish off the sculpting, a little bit of bronzer adds that warmth back into the skin. For blush, pink shades were picked out specifically to match the bride's sari, which is such a great tip for making the whole look feel cohesive. And of course, you can't forget a beautiful, shimmering highlighter on the high points of the face for that essential bridal glow. You guys, we've made it to the grand finale, the final glamorous touches. This is the part where we pull all the little details together and complete this incredible transformation. Let's finish up those eyes. You take those same brown and black eyeshadows and smudge them along the lower lash line to balance out that dramatic top lid. A little pop of that gold shimmer in the inner corner just brightens everything up. Then, after a good coat of waterproof mascara, it's time for false lashes. And here's the final pro tip. Apply a super thin line of liquid liner right over the lash band. It completely hides any glue and makes the lashes look absolutely seamless. Now for the lips, longevity is everything. So first, you line and then completely fill in the lips with a lip liner. This basically acts as a primer and makes your lipstick last for hours. Then, to get that perfect color, 2 different lipsticks were mixed together to create this custom vibrant pink. That custom shade then gets applied right over the liner for a really bold, beautiful finish. So, what's the big takeaway here? It's that you really don't have to compromise. With the right techniques, like being gentle, setting your makeup in layers, and just knowing which products to use where, a full glam, heavy-duty bridal look is 100% possible, even on the most sensitive, acne-prone skin. So, now that you've got this blueprint for a perfect, irritation-free base in your toolkit, there's really only one question left to ask. What incredible look are you going to create first?